Life is Strange is a new episodic adventure game by developers Don't Nod. They've previously been responsible for a game called Remember Me, which had some very interesting gameplay ideas and a striking visual style, but was let down by clumsy combat. Chances are you didn't get to play it, unless you were a PlayStation Plus member when it was given away free. Their new project is quite similar to something made by Telltale Games, who have essentially set the blueprint for this type of game and dominated the market ever since. It's about time someone else came along to give them a run for their money. Life is Strange also shares a fair few similarities to the work of David Cage, in particular Beyond Two Souls, though it is made on a much lower budget and split into 5 episodes. Before I get into the presentation, I want to cover the plot and characters of the game. You control Max, who is studying photography at a distinguished academy in the town of Arcadia Bay in Oregon. This in itself is a fairly interesting setup, and it's obvious that the developers have a genuine knowledge and passion for the subject of photography, but most of the characters in this first episode come across as self-obsessed arseholes. Max's teacher and personal hero is one of the worst offenders, but there's also Victoria, the school bitch. You are supposed to despise her though, and it's fun when you get to take her down a peg or two during the episode. Even Max herself comes across as a bit of a hipster douche during this initial 3-hour look into the world of Life is Strange, and as a result I never entirely felt absorbed in what I was doing. This is especially true when she states that Final Fantasy The Spirits Within is one of the best science fiction films ever made. While I did actually enjoy that movie when it came out, it's far from the best ever and hasn't aged particularly well. This line probably has something to do with the fact that the game was published by Square Enix. The main gimmick of the game, where you can rewind time and have another go at puzzles or conversations, is clever, though it was annoying in one of the earlier puzzles when the game would not let you interact with a bucket, despite it being part of the actual solution to the puzzle. No, the developers thought it would be fun to make you fail the puzzle several times, so that Max slowly works out the final solution with each mistake. I accept that Don't Nod had to teach you the rules of the game, and the rest of the episode isn't so handholdy, but if the player is smart enough to see through your puzzle straight away, surely they should be allowed to solve it there and then. Anyway, onto the graphics and sound. Life is Strange does have a quite nice painterly look to it. Not quite cartoony, but certainly stylistic. I like it. From a technical point of view, there is some noticeable drawing during scene changes, but the game performs noticeably better than most of the Telltale games and output. Voice acting is decent, and there is also a nice soundtrack featuring Jose Gonzalez, which definitely fits the mood and style of the overall project. Overall, I had fun with this first episode, but the generally unlikable characters made it hard for me to become invested in it entirely. There is a central mystery that is set up throughout this episode that I am interested in discovering more about, so I will be coming back for at least one more, though I won't be committing to a season pass. Whether I get all the way to the end of the season or give up 1 or 2 episodes from now, I will be back with a follow-up video to give you my final thoughts. Until then, I would say that this first episode is worth 3 or so hours of your time and £4.